I was getting flamed on Instagram or TikTok for saying the Bills should lose this game so then they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. And every Bills fan's like, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, no, dude, are you joking?
Let's get the win.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round! Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 41 of the Buds Mafia podcast. This would have been a very, very depressing podcast, especially with everything that happened this weekend. Our souls were almost ripped, or basically were ripped out of us, but the Bills brought us back to life just now. Usually we obviously go to hockey and then football. I think after we go through our kind of introductions and stuff, we'll get right into the Bills win because Jackson's hot right now. But I mean, Blue Jays, we'll get into our draft or dump segment, but yeah, that was tough. That's
so tough.
I've never been so into baseball this whole year, or at least this past few months. I know you have too, and that was a kick in the dick. That sucked.
Horrible.
I was in Toronto on Friday. That was horrible. It just went dead silent, and it was in our grasps. 1 out, I think 2 strikes for Rojas, and their 9th hitter just hits a nuke, and then it's just
ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck? Then bottom of the 9th, we have bases loaded, 1 out. I can't remember what the Kike. I forget what the guy's name is. Alfala. He was an inch from getting on or getting the home plate.
Yeah.
And then Kirk breaks the bat and everything, and that just sucks. But my draft or dump, honestly, I'm drafting the Blue Jays. That's the closest team I've ever seen. Seeing them cry, like Ernie Clement, he said, "These are my brothers." Everything. Vladdy just sitting on the bench in tears. They were fun to watch, no matter what. I mean, you can't get much closer than that, but that was tough. And hopefully they bring Bo back, but I'm not a big baseball guy. I don't get contracts that much, so hopefully they bring him back, but I don't know how much it'll cost them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so upset. Immediately afterwards, I said we now have to rely on the Leafs, which is just horrible, and we'll get into why that's horrible.
Yeah.
And then also the Bills, which the Bills brought me back to life for real this weekend. My heart rate was through the roof. And I was going to draft the Blue Jays as well, but I have to draft Joe Brady. That was
That's a first.
I have to draft Joe Brady. I think that's his first this whole season, which is crazy because we're 6-2. This is his first for real full game of just complimentary coordinating.
I love the play. Like you said, there's a few splints in every single game this year that's just been so iffy, but I think this whole game, I think it was the right calls every single time. Like I really like the play calling.
Only thing I wasn't in love with was the last drive. Like James Cook rattles off a 14-yard run to go for over 100 yards rushing, and then you go 2 back-to-back passing plays. It's like not the last drive, like the drive before. So it's just you know, I don't know. The defense still needs some work, but they played a lot better. I don't know. It's just I was happy. I'm very happy. My heart rate was through the roof.
Yeah, the weekend, this would have been this would have been a 20-minute podcast if the Bills lost. It would have all been a rant.
It might have been the end. Might have been the end of it. For real.
It might have been. We might have just played the Nick Alberga interview, and then that's the episode. That's it. But I interviewed Nick Alberga on Wednesday. It was awesome talking with him. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They do 5 episodes a week. They film every day or during the week with Jay Rosehill. Jay Rosehill's also on Spin Chicklets recently. He gave some incredible minor league stories. Those were awesome. But yeah, I talked with Nick, chatted up some hockey fantasy, some Leafs. Definitely very honest. Like he speaks his truth about Marner, which you know how much I love.
Yeah.
And also speaks his truth on Matthews. So I mean, we'll check that out. We're gonna cut like midway through this podcast. We'll play it, and we'll go on from there. But quickly, do you want to kind of give them a Movember update? Then we can get right into the Bills game.
Yeah, as you can see, Ryan and I have shaved our faces, and realistically, I believe you're supposed to just shave everything off. But Ryan and
this would be November 30th if I did that. That's the thing, right?
Correct. So I mean, are we kind of skirting the rules a little bit? Yeah, but it's still a great cause for men's health and everything. We'll attach the links for both of our personal bios, and then as well as we have a team page for the podcast called Buds Mafia. You can look it up on the Movember site there. And yeah,
it'll be in our description of this podcast. Yeah, I'll put in the YouTube and Spotify description as well, so the link will be below.
I believe we mentioned it as well. But yeah, for every, I think, $20 or so that gets donated, Ryan and I will take a kilometer on, and at the end of the month, we're going to, hopefully we're going to run a lot, and there's a lot of donations, and so for every $20, it's a kilometer. We're going to be running. Ryan will be in full Leafs gear. I'll be in full Bills gear. And yeah, for a great cause. And we're going to continue to do stuff like this. I know we mentioned the marathon next May, the week before I get married, just outstanding for me. But yeah, it's a really good cause. And if you guys could please donate, I can't say enough about men's health and everything in general. And Ryan and I are on our own health journeys and fitness journeys. I believe the big man over there is down around 20 pounds, 22 pounds. That's huge. I'm down around 3 or 5.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to start. I'm not going to say what the beginning and now is. I think you were in shock last night, but no, it's good. I
was taken aback. That's huge for you. So my goal weight right now, I want to finish, hopefully for the wedding, I want to be in around like 200, 195, 200 range. Nice. And just looking svelte. But that's the goal. No. But yeah, please donate. Look at our faces I can tell you right now, dude, I started shaving my face. I'm not a mustache guy. It's not a good look. Beard. I had to before this, and Ryan was privy to seeing it. I will not be taking my hair out, but I have a mullet as well. And my fiance came in and pinned the mullet back because I look like Kid Rock's baby.
It was bad.
It was a bad look. I look like I'm straight out of the Sunnyvale trailer park. So, but yeah, I don't believe we're mustache guys. Ryan probably wears it better than I do. But dude, I was having so much fun shaving it off. I cut mutton chops. I cut a goatee.
It's the most fun. It's the most fun. Just like 5-10 minutes. I'm just like shaving crap. Mutton chops, like the Wolverine type shit. Like, it's awesome.
I was sitting there. I was like, man, you know what? Maybe I'll just do handlebars for the whole month of November. And then I did it, and I was like, no, probably not a good look.
So no, we're gonna try and like film that too. I don't know how we're gonna do it, because obviously, again, if we get, say $5,000, obviously I don't know what the quick math is, but it's gonna be over $200K or whatever the hell it is, like running.
It's gonna be a lot.
We're gonna film that or figure something out, and we'll figure out what the actual details on Leafs gear and Bills gear, you know what I mean? We'll actually like decipher what that means, like kind of what the actual breakdown
I'm thinking for me, I gotta buy a pair of those Bills pants, like the striped pants, and then wear a jersey. Yeah, it's gonna be cold as shit though, so like
it'll be cold because it'll be December, which I've run in like -5. Like if you just wear some long johns, it's not too bad. You can run as long as it's not crazy windy and no ice on the ground, because you can run in like packed snow too. It's not that crazy, but yeah. So we'll figure that out. Yeah. So go find a link below. I think we, again, like you said, we usually start with hockey, but I think because the Bills game just ended, I think we gotta go right to the Bills.
Yeah.
Big dub, 28-21 against the Chiefs. I think it was Josh Allen. Obviously week 1, Josh Allen was awesome, and then he had some, you can say, iffy weeks, and maybe not his true MVP form. Still looked great, but now I think he looked phenomenal today. Like you said, Joe Brady was awesome.
Calm. It's crazy because it's like, this is what it always is for, like, in my opinion, for the Bills and Josh. It's like you play back-to-back games where like the Patriots are obviously good. We've come to the decision they're good. They've rattled off 6 straight wins. Their competition hasn't been amazing. A win against a pretty good Falcons team is obviously good for them. But they're a good team. So you lose to them by 3 points, and then you get absolutely dog-walked by the Falcons, even though that game was 1 score. Still ridiculous. And it always seems to be those games where Josh is trying to force throws, trying to like make things happen, and sometimes you're playing from behind. This is the type of, when you see the Bills play with a lead, this is when you're going to find best form of Josh Allen. I like the way that the run and the pass was split up. It wasn't too dominant from either side. James Cook is having an absolute career year. I am so happy they paid him before this, because if they didn't, 100% he wasn't coming back. He would get $20 million.
Yeah.
And it's also, you get to see Joe Brady realizing Dalton Kincaid is more of an asset. Like they drafted him to be able to be that like Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski style guy. Obviously his blocking is not near that level, but you also have like they play the most heavy personnel in the NFL with having Jackson Hawes, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, and then Reggie Gilliam's their fullback, but really he slots in as kind of their fourth tight end. And their blocking is through and through amazing.
Romo was all over Gilliam. He's like this guy. He's on in every play. They use him in so many different scenarios. I didn't even really know much about him before this game. I'll be honest with you.
He's
in
awesome.
Every situation. He's
awesome.
sick.
He's a great special team guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just the first full performance, like coordinated performance you saw defensively and offensively. Like yes, you knew Mahomes was going to score touchdowns, but to get an opening drive TD, go make the Chiefs go 3 and out, and then hold them to, and then get like 7-7. And, you know, it was really, really well done. Joey Bosa played great. Maxwell Harrison played awesome. There's still broken coverages, like 4th and 17. Yeah. That pissed me off.
That can't happen. Yeah.
That cannot happen. 4th and 17 cannot happen, especially in week 9. Like that cannot happen. But yeah, Cole Bishop played unbelievable. Benford, I still need to see more from him, in my opinion. But yeah, like the defensive front, I really hope, because Michael Hoyt got taken off the field in the second half. And
he was a dog today too. He was
it didn't look great. It was a non-contact injury. It looked like maybe his Achilles. I really hope it's not torn. Maybe just stretched to be out for a little bit, but he's an absolute dog. Like to have him on the D-line, they play him anywhere. They play him from the edge to the interior to the other edge. To have someone who's that versatile, get upfield, rush the passer. Mahomes did not have it today. He looked flustered. They're obviously injured, but that's probably was the hottest team in the NFL going into this week. Like they've rattled off crazy wins. Their offense has been humming. Their defense hadn't allowed a 100-yard rushing performance since Christmas Day when they played the Raiders, and it was Zamir White. So, for Cook to just rattle off 114 yards, it was unbelievable. Ty Johnson got involved. I like the way that they split up. They had Ty Johnson, they had Ray Davis involved. They slung Ty Johnson out of the backfield, which I think where he was most effective last year was actually in the passing game as a receiving back. He can run downhill and he can be a good running back, but to get him involved, you need him as that kind of check down option and let him make plays after. So.
There's also like a few packages where they actually had designated run plays for Josh, and I actually thought it worked really well. Like he had a nice 12-yard gain one time.
Yeah.
And the play calling I thought was a lot better. Maxwell Harrison, like you said, I mean, if we can get that guy going and keep developing, that's just such a huge asset.
Unbelievable,
I think I saw Adam Schefter say on a podcast recently that like amount of teams that are in the market for a cornerback and right now and how needy that is right now. If we can get him going. Like I said, there was some broken coverage, obviously the interception, and with it, if we can keep his confidence going up and up, I think that'd be such an X factor for this team.
For people who are going to say, "Oh, Maxwell Harrison's interception was basically a punt," it's like, okay, you should call it what you want. That's a rookie in the NFL who's playing in his second game. For him to get an interception, it's a huge confidence boost.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether what the actual variables are in the game. It's the fact that he got an interception off probably one of like a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say about Patrick Mahomes in his fucking like 8th year, but he's obviously a Hall of Fame quarterback. And
100%.
For the Bills to have that tiebreaker over the Chiefs are going to rattle off wins. But right now they are currently out of the hunt, or they're in the hunt. They're out of the wild card picture. The Jags beating the Raiders solidifies the Jags because the Jags beat the Chiefs. So the Jags are now the 8th seed. The Bills are the 5th seed still. And insane.
You know when football's getting down to the nitty-gritties when they start showing the into hunt graphics. That's when you start feeling your pulse. That's when you feel that pulse. Oh, yeah.
The amount of games this week that meant a lot divisionally. Like you look at the Vikings-Lions game, that's a huge game divisionally. Yeah. You look at a bunch of all these other games and where these teams are ranked. Like that's why that game against the Steelers, I mean, the game against the Dolphins really doesn't matter next week, but it's a huge confidence game. You can obviously get to Tua. You can pick them off. The offense needs to be humming, and I'm absolutely thrilled. But I needed that win. I needed them to.
We did. Yeah,
I didn't need it to be as close as it was, but it was always going to be like that.
Yeah.
But let's go Bills.
Go Bills. That was just massive. And yeah, like you said, we'll talk about more pregame or preview later on the pod or week 10. But yeah, let's. Do you want to shift back just to hockey here? Because there's a lot of money tossed around recently. A lot of money tossed around. Yeah, so there's 4 massive signings, or 3 really big ones and 1 solid one. Thomas Harley, 8 years at $10.5 million. He's an $18 overall pick back in 2019. Back-to-back 15, 16-goal seasons as a defenseman. 50 points last year, 14 points in 18 playoff games. I mean, like, it's 10 million is going to be like a normal number now for like this type of defenseman. Like, he's a top 20 defenseman. Played great in the Four Nations when he was called up for a late injury.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of runs that number 1 power play for Dallas when Myro is not playing it. Having him and Heiskanen, I think it's a great contract. Again, people say 10.5, and they go, oh, he played 2 years, kind of 50 points, but I don't know. He's a horse. He plays over 20 minutes a game. He's so fucking young. And again, he played Four Nations as like a 22-year-old, however the fuck old he is, right?
Crazy.
So 8 years, get 8 years in. I'm still kind of curious what's going to happen with Robertson. I know he's an RFA, which is huge, so they can maybe work something out. But, I mean, he's a guaranteed 30-goal, 80-point guy, right? In the playoffs, he performs. So I don't know where they're going to get the money. They have Wyatt Johnson getting paid 8, him 10, Myro makes 9, Rantanen makes 12, Onger makes 9. Like, I just don't know where we're going to get it. I'm sure you can let some depth players go and just go full on top 6, top 2 D-man, and then the rest is just kind of shit. But RFA, so it's not the end of the world. He won't walk for nothing. But at the end of the day, Harley, it's a sick contract for him. $80 million. Now another 8-year, $10 million contract.
This one was crazy. Cooley. I didn't see this coming.
So yeah, I think a few episodes ago, we talked about him turning down an 8-year, I think it was like 9.6 or something like that. He wanted that 10. I don't blame him. He wanted that double digits. 3rd overall pick in 2022. Looking back now, likely should have been the 1st overall pick. It was Slafkovsky and Simon Nemec. I like Slafkovsky and Nemec having a good year, but I mean, Logan Cooley to me has superstardom potential. 44 points in his rookie years, 65 points last year. Last time I checked, he had 12 points, 11 games. Utah's humming right now. I mean, to me, he can be like a Jack Hughes. He's already kind of up there. So I made a video recently that is our most popular video, or long-form video. Got 500 views. Atlantic Division kind of draft what-ifs. And I said Montreal, like, their issues are second-line center. Instead of drafting Slafkovsky, draft Logan Cooley, because then you have Cooley and Suzuki, and I feel like that would have been monstrous. I still like Slafkovsky. I think he's good with Suzuki and Caulfield, but a lot of Habs fans commented, and they actually weren't like dickheads. They're also they kind of explained to me why they think Slafkovsky fits, and I do agree with a lot of things they said. But I mean, we're talking about, like, yes, Slafkovsky's 6'6", 230, can put up 50, 60 points, but I mean, Logan Cooley can be like a Jack Hughes, right? Like, the potential's there. But I honestly understood what they were saying. They actually weren't like talking too crazy. But yeah, I do want to talk about Utah versus Anaheim in a little future debate later on. But Necas, 8-year, 11.5. And in his first game back, I think he had like 3 points against Vegas, just rock star. Dude, Colorado has 1 regulation loss.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're like 8-1-5. Like, they're just, and Cale Makar is putting up one of the best seasons I've ever seen. He's on pace for 30 goals and 100 points as a defenseman.
It's ridiculous.
And his contract's up in 2 years, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, great deal. I think people are like, oh, like $500K less than Rantanen. I mean, he's got more points than Rantanen right now. He's got 60 points, 12 games. Now that Rantanen deal, you can look at it and be like, okay, it was fair. Like, that deal is complete. You sign Necas to a good deal for both sides. The deal's fair for both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Inconsistency has been kind of a known issue, or at least what Hurricanes fans kind of bring up to him. But I just think, for how much of a dog Nate is,
and you're playing on such a high-powered team that has so much skill.
Yeah.
Like,
Nate's not going to let that happen. Nate's not afraid to get in your head, right? Or not in a bad way. He's just going to be like, no, like, we're not doing this tonight. Like, I've seen you put up 3 goals in a period. Like, we're not doing this off night right now. So I think it's a great deal for both sides. And again, like, he has fit in perfectly with McKinnon. And they're, I mean, top of the West, top of the league for a reason right now. So again, if they can stay healthy, that's going to be a fucking tough team to beat. And they don't even have Blackwood back yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he should be back. So Wedgwood's been putting up some wins. But once they get Blackwood
to have 2 goalies and Wedgwood and Blackwood is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's incredible. Then Markstrom, this one kind of caught me off guard. I know $6 million a year is not crazy for a goalie who was a perennial all-star for a while. I mean, New Jersey's getting in wins either way. Jake Allen's been awesome. He's had a pretty tough start. I don't know what his stats are, but I think they're like, he's only played a few games, but like 4 goals against. But he was battling an injury. I thought it was a little early for an extension, but I guess it's the value he's making now is the same value that he just signed for. So it's kind of like, what's the risk? Like, it's nothing too crazy. You kind of know what you might get out of him. But I thought it was a little early. But
5 games played, 3 wins.
Okay.
Saving percentage is .875.
I think it was down a lot, so I think it was like below 80 or 800. So I feel like he's brought it up quite a bit. What's his goals against? You got there?
His goals against is 4.17.
Yeah. I think at one point, I'm kidding. I think it was like 5.
His career stats insane.
He's been
530 games played, 244 wins, 24 shutouts, 2.72 goals against, and a 900, basically a 908 save percentage. So that's still
100%.
Like,
if you can have a goal,
$6 million for over 2 years, that's really not that bad.
If people look at like all-time goalie stats and something, they're like, oh, I got like 2.7 goals against. It's like goalies aren't coming into the league and lighting it up. Like it's an average of every season.
And we've talked about that a ton.
Yeah, a ton. Bring up every fucking time. And the salary cap.
Well, we talked about this. Yeah, we need
to. Some kind of news around the league I kind of want to bring up because obviously we talked about Logan Cooley. First off, Anaheim's young studs. Like Leo Carlson's like the next Malkin. He's like the next Malkin. He's like 6'4", 210, 15 points, 10 games. Cutter, Gauthier, 10 points in 10 games. He was my fantasy sleeper. McTavish, great. I'm happy they brought him back. 8 points, 10 games. Seneca has brought his game down a bit. I think he had 5 points in 5 games, but now 5 points in 10 games. Still looking good, though. Who do you think has a better future? They're kind of a similar spot. Obviously, Utah is playing a lot better right now, but who do you think has a better future, Anaheim or Utah? It's a very close debate.
Yeah, I think talking about it, too, is like the way that Anaheim's playing now. I think we talked about a lot of the salary issues that Anaheim could run into. But I kind of, it's just, maybe I'm being biased because Utah's a new team. But I just like the way that Utah's trending. I feel like they got a lot of swag with the New Jerseys actually having a name. I feel like a lot of people are buying into the overall product that they're producing as a hockey team. And I feel like that's a huge thing. Like Anaheim's a franchise that's been around for a while. Obviously had great players that played for them. But I really do like what Utah has done, especially what they did in the offseason. If you guys go back and listen to our breakdown of the divisions, we break down what they added and what they lost. And I like the way Utah is trending. Obviously, I feel like both of us have been pretty high on Anaheim. I mean, considering I don't have a ton of hockey knowledge and I was decently high on Anaheim and you kind of confirmed my, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. I think Anaheim has the edge in net, having Dostal. I think Vejmelka in Utah has been awesome, but Dostal is very young and has a lot of potential and bright years. And you brought up like salary, like potential salary concerns. I know people will look at that and be like, oh, next year they'll have like $40 million in cap space. Okay, well, you're going to have to sign Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, Pavel Mitnyakov, Olen Zellweger. And obviously that value has gone down because you did sign Lacombe for $9 million. You did sign McTavish for $7-8 million, right? So they'll still have a lot of money to deal with. But eventually it's like, I don't know, as we've seen Cutter Gauthier kind of force his way out of a team. Does he do a Mitch Marner and be like, I want 5 years at $12 million, right? So, but I think, and that's kind of the edge of Utah. Now they have Gunther at 7x7. They have Cooley at 8x10. They have Peterka 7x7. Keller's up in 2 years, but he's a captain there. He's one of the franchise's great, so he'll probably stay back. Schmaltz is a UFA, and that could be an issue, but you'll figure it out. So yeah, it's tough. I like the overall potential of Anaheim because Carlson, big body, Cutter Gauthier, big body. I think I've said almost every podcast the potential of just playoffs in Utah, maybe like not toughness in that top 6, but right now they're fucking scoring at will, and that'd be potential. That'd be a weird like future Western rival, just Anaheim, Utah battling.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
That just sounds weird. I'd like Anaheim. I mean, have some great teams with Ketzlaff and Perry. I wouldn't think they're at the top of the fan atmosphere. I mean, we've seen Utah just be absolutely bonkers, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I want to talk about quickly Philly. Zegras 12 points in 10 games. Mishkov's looked a little bit better after having a slow start. Apparently, he came to camp overweight, which is hilarious.
That is funny.
But Zegras has looked awesome. I mean, his potential's there. Like, he's an offensive force. In
I
the
feel like
shootout,
his
he's a cheat
potential
code.
has always been there. It's just like, just overall, he kind of needs. I feel like he's one of the type of guy that needs to buy in.
Yeah.
I feel like
and
he
Rick
wasn't
Talk is
totally
the coach
bought
to make
in.
you buy in, right?
Yeah,
So
I feel like he wasn't maybe totally bought in while he was in Anaheim.
Yeah.
I think a change of scenery. I mean, it depends. You see some guys have a change of scenery and just continue a decline, or some guys have a change of scenery and benefit off of it, especially bringing in a new coach. And
yeah, 100%. But yeah, last little team I want to talk to you before we kind of do some Leafs updates. Minnesota's really struggling. They have one of the worst goal differentials in the league. Top Guns are getting points, like Kirill and Boldy get a ton of points, but they're averaging a lot of minutes for forwards. They're both averaging around 22 minutes. And for guys who don't really penalty kill, that's a lot of time. Like, only McDavid and Leon average more among forwards, which is insane.
Crazy.
Like, averaging 20 minutes as a forward, you better be a shutdown guy, which Kirill and Boldy are not. Maybe Boldy a bit more two-way, but Kirill's just straight an offensive powerhouse. So I think they'll figure it out. Bouillam's getting his points. Faber's kind of had a rocky start, but I like this roster. I think we're both high on them.
Yeah, we were.
Like St. Louis and Dallas are kind of lower in the Central right now, but Winnipeg's playing great.
I mean, if you look at the standings, like the standings right now, is
Pittsburgh's first. Pittsburgh's first.
Insane.
Like, what the fuck?
If you look at the Atlantic, like insane. If you look at the Metro is just upside down. The Metro makes no. The Capitals are last, and the Devils and the Penguins are first. I mean, the Devils we are pretty high on if they're healthy, but like
I didn't think the Penguins were going to win a game this year. I really thought they were going to win a game.
3-2.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just Malkin's doing his thing. That rookie Ben Kindle's playing great. Losing Raquel sucks for them, but they're still finding ways. And Crosby's Crosby. Maybe if they're good, Crosby's not going anywhere. So I think the Penguins front office is like, thank God. But
thank God.
Going to some Leaf news and following Leaf news, I'll send it over to Nick Alberga because we did talk a lot. It was fun. It was awesome talking with him. It was funny when I interviewed him. Trust me, we've had issues recording before, whether our mics aren't working, with to figure it out. I hop on with him. He's super nice. He helped on right on time, and I couldn't hear him. But then I'm in my basement, right, and I heard something speaking in my family room or my kitchen.
Oh,
TV.
your computer connected.
It connected to, so my parents just hear Nick Alberta talk. He's like, "Oh, hey Ryan, how's it going?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that coming from?" So I had to figure it out, and I told him, and he started laughing, and it was
That's
all
hilarious.
good. But and also, if you look at the when we listen to it, or at least watch it on YouTube, I am as red as a tomato. I was so nervous. I would say I was more nervous for the Johnny Lazarus interview because that was my first one. Nick Alberga wasn't too nervous because it was just straight Leafs shooting the shit. Like, that was a lot easier. Yeah. Johnny's a lot more broad. It was awesome talking to him.
Isn't it so nice to talk to someone who actually knows hockey?
I do it every Sunday, Monday night, brother. That's what I do.
Stop.
All right, quick little Leafs updates. I mean, before we recorded this and before the Leafs beat Philly, they were tied with Buffalo for last in the East. The record wasn't even that bad. They were 5-4-1. Now I think they're 6-5-1.
6-5-1 now.
Yeah, I mean, it's
if you look at the rest of the division, the rest of the division is like stacked
so
in the middle. Basically from the Lightning down, the Lightning are 6-4-2, Sens 6-5-2, Bruins are 7-7, Panthers are 6-5-1, and we're 6-5-1. So other than the Canadians and the Red Wings, who are 9-3 and 8-4, it's just still so early. Yeah,
it's so early, and like I said, I think this has been our record for the past few seasons. Like, starting, it takes us a while. I mean, I listened to, me and Nick talked about it. I heard Rosehill on Spin Chicks talk about it. You're gonna find some offensive struggles just with Marner going out. You're gonna have to figure it out, and I can't wait for Lawton to come back. I think he was awesome in preseason. He's a locker room guy. I think we're really missing him. I mean, Robertson's been awesome since Nylander's kind of been in and out of the lineup. He ripped again against Philly. Cowan got his first goal, which was a snipe. Tanev's down, and Nyes are old. We'll talk about what quickly. Tanev he got hit in the head. I think it was Seattle, and he went down.
No, it was against New Jersey.
New Jersey. And then he came back like 3 games later against Philly. Innocent play. I mean, it's along the blue line. I know, like, McCabe went over to fight Mishkov, which, I mean, that's, hey, stick up for your teammate. It wasn't anyone's fault, and stretcher got out. So hopefully he's okay. He is discharged from the hospital and returning home. You kind of worry about that. I mean, he hasn't had head issues before this year. Obviously, he had the one a week ago. But I mean, fuck, when you're being 35 years old, take care of your health. It's kind of getting scary.
That was my thing. Like 3 games, like give him more time, man. Like you're early in the season. Yeah, you might have some struggles defensively, but it's also a good time. It's a good experience for other guys to step into the lineup and figure out their game, especially as you get down to the later stretches of the season. You're going to need everyone.
It's just scary because it's tough with a concussion, right? Because it's only really him can tell you if he's fine. Where a guy who has a sprained ankle, torn something, where it's like, no, like your knee is torn, like you're not playing. Where it's like, he's like, yeah, I feel fine. Like they did tests, they probably, for concussion, do some wind sprints. How's your head? Are you dizzy? And he probably was fine. But now, a little scary. But apparently he's walking and everything on his own now. He went home, so hopefully he'll be okay. And again, like, I love him to be back, but again, when you're 35 years old, like, just think about other things and don't come back too early. Yeah, take your time, but hopefully he's okay. But yeah, like you said, Nyes has been awesome. Domi's been really good too. I think Nyes is just having a sneaky year. Like, he's over a point per game. Like, he's awesome. I don't know. And me, I don't want to talk too much about it because me and Nick did talk quite a bit about it, but like, Matthews needs to be better. I know we're talking about, hey, he has 6 goals in 12 games, which isn't horrible. His shot looks a lot better. Last year, which concerns about his wrist, he kind of tossed some muffins out there. He's shooting the puck. I still think he's great defensively on puck.
Gross goal against Philly.
Yeah, ripped it. Those are the types of shots, those are the type of goals that we haven't seen him go on a daily basis, where it's like on the left side, he drags it into his body and he rips it far side. We used to see that goal like once or twice a week. Now it's just, I don't know. And yes, I think as Leafs fans, we can be biased, be like, all I care about how he plays in the playoffs. But it's just like, I don't know, give us something. Like, kind of give us a little bit more. But yeah, I think people are getting nervous about his health, but I don't see any concerns with it. I think the effort's there. I think it is. I just think he's got to bear down again. And again, you lost a 100-point winger on your line, right? So, yeah, but that was a huge win against Philly. Kind of get off the schneid. That Columbus game, I know that was that
Columbus game made me so mad.
Yeah, but that was just horrible. Tavares 500 goals. Sucks that it was on the game of getting absolutely whacked. But before we kind of toss it off to Nick here, next few games, November 3rd against Pittsburgh. We'll already know the result when this comes out. Utah, Boston. I will be boots on the ground against Boston. Yep, I'll be there. Me and my brother.
Nice.
Spend $30 on a tall can. Can't wait for that.
That's huge.
You're going to be there. You're going to be in Hamilton for the Eastern semifinal.
I sure will.
Against the Montreal Alouettes. So hopefully we got something to talk about there.
Yeah.
Beer League update, 2-5. We stink.
That's horrible.
We suck.
That's horrible.
Suck. We lost in shootouts. This one guy.
That's not that bad.
This one guy was walking. He would just skate down to the heater zone, like hash marks, and just tee up clappers at our goalie's head. And we had a guy come back who hasn't played for us in a while. Who's like, Matt Marnier. He'd come in, he's like 6'6", 6'7", and he just talked to him. He's like, hey, if you fucking do that again, I'm going to fucking kill you. But
didn't he play professional lacrosse?
He still does. He plays in Ottawa. He's like, apparently he's like one of the best defensive players in the league. He's crazy. A firefighter here in the off days, because a lot of lacrosse players are firefighters, right? So, so let's. I think it's time to toss it over to Nick. It was awesome talking with him. We talked fantasy hockey, Leafs, and kind of stuff around the league. So hopefully you enjoy that, and we'll be right back for some more NFL talk.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
All right, boys, special guest today. You've seen him on Leafs Morning Take, heard him on NHL Fantasy on Ice, and you followed hockey media over the years. You've definitely come across his work. Radio host, fantasy hockey analysis, writer, and podcaster. This guy does it all. Nick Alberga, welcome to the show, man. How's everything going? How's life with the NHL season back in full swing? I mean, the Jays in the World Series, how's everything holding up?
We're pumped. Great intro. Thank you so much for having me. And I think the Maple Leafs right now are lucky the Blue Jays are in the World Series because it hasn't been the best start to the season, although we have this same convo every year, it seems. Hey, thanks for having me.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, people like to panic a lot, but if you look at it, I think we had the exact same record last start, and maybe the effort was better last year, and right now it's clearly not as good. But but first off, I got to say, I've really respected your career path. You've kind of hit every corner of hockey media, radio, fantasy, podcasting, content. Something I really look up to. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a weird year for the Leafs, like I just said, but let's kind of just get right into it. 25-26, we kind of just mentioned it, but kind of a mid-start. I wouldn't say horrible start, but definitely not to the expectations of a division champions from last year. A lot of turnover, no Mitch Marner. Kind of what's your early read on the team so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. When you lose a key piece, a star player, an all-star, I think there's going to be a bit of a transition period, specifically for those who played with him, right? Yeah. I mean, you look at Matthew Nyes, it's been a so-so start for him, albeit really excellent outing against the game the other night against the Calgary Flames. Mm-hmm. And then you look at Austin Matthews. I think it's been an up and down start for him. So I think anytime you lose a player like that, it's my expectation, at least, it's going to be, take some games to get acclimated to some different players, different styles of players around the lineup. But I think slowly but surely, I think this team will start to find its identity into the month of November. I think if you recall last year, as we just discussed, same records. I mean, it's the same old conversation with this team. They're notorious slow starters, we'll say, in the last decade. So I expect that to continue. I know a lot of people are up in arms because I think, the pathway looks a bit different this year, where some of the games, they just haven't really done much defensively. I think the big story early on, for me at least, has been the goaltending. And of course, getting Joseph Woll back, I think, is going to help everybody, including the team. And also Anthony Stolarz. They won't be as worried, I don't know if that's the right word, but worried to use the backup as they are right now with like a Caden Primo as opposed to like a guy they view as a 1B with Stolarz. So I think people underestimate the value of Joseph Woll, what he brings to the table. Once he's back in the mix here, I think they get going here.
Yeah, and with the faces, obviously we're losing the salary cap with Marner. You can bring in 3 players like Michelli, Woll, and Joshua. It's early, like I said, but how would you kind of, not like a specific grade, but how you think they're doing so far? I mean, Woll's been great in the faceoff dot, over 50%. He's like -4 in the season. Joshua's starting to come along. Players like that, we saw it with Tyler Bertuzzi, kind of a physical player, needs to kind of get into the game. And Michelli, you see the skills there, has put up some points, but how do you think the 3 new guys have been so far?
Yeah, I would say mixed bag. Again, expected. I do view specifically Nick Waugh and Dakota Joshua as playoff style players. I really don't care what they do in the regular season. Like Dakota Joshua was a prime example. Like just show up in the playoffs and look at Max Domi, another perfect example of a player who just a different animal in the Stanley Cup playoffs, at least in my opinion, although he's off to a good start. But yeah, I would say a mixed bag. Like Michelli is exactly what I expected. I watch a lot of out-of-market hockey, we'll say. And, I mean, there's got to be a reason why Utah, who's having a really, really good start, was so keen to move on from this guy, right? And this has been the story of Matias Michelli's career. Like, let's not forget, 2 years ago, he had an unbelievable year. Last year, he was busier eating popcorn in the press box than actually playing. So I think this is going to be an evolving story all year round. I think it's interesting, too. They brought him in clearly to play in the top 6, but if that doesn't go the way they expected it to go, then what happens? Because I don't know if Michelli can play in that bottom 6. I think only time will tell. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but I think we're seeing early on, it's a bit turbulent, I would say, is the right word to use of the 3 guys with a guy like Michelli who could fluctuate up and down the lineup. We saw the other night against Calgary, played 11:47. It's just that's just the way it's going to be with this guy. Yeah.
I remember I saw his like tweets and stuff, and they're saying over under 65.5 points for Michelli, and I was like, if we can get 50 points, I'm okay with that. Like he had, I don't know what his career, like 59, 60 points in Arizona and Utah. Yeah, a guy who can't really play in that bottom 6. If he can just kind of filter in that top 6, I think that'd be great. But yeah, if he's not in that top 6, I don't really have much use for him, or the Leafs do. Nick Waugh, again, I think we saw him in Vegas. Playoff guy, yeah, like you said, I don't really care how many points he puts up till then. Be good in the face-off, show what you can do. And Joshua, I mean, you saw what he did in Vancouver 2 years ago in that playoffs. I remember it was that line of him, Elias Lindholm, and Connor Garland. they're the best line on that team. So again, like I said with Tyler Bertuzzi, they were kind of players who play physical, take a while to get into the game, and I think in that Buffalo series really showed what he can do, and I'm confident he can I would love a third line to stay of McMahon, Waugh, and Joshua. I think that could be an X factor line for the Leafs come playoff time. But again, we're October 29th right now, so but yeah, it's fun to look forward to. I kind of want to talk about Willie next. He gets a lot of criticism online for effort, kind of maybe shift-to-shift type play. I mean, he's like tied for 8th in points. I think he's 15, 16 points. I remember starting last year, he asked Berube for more ice time. Berube has kind of been on and off with him. He loves the skill of him. Obviously, he's not a player you can really put out in the PK right now, and people are his effort kind of shift-to-shift. Do you kind of buy that, or do you think it's just kind of Toronto media being too hard on him? Or do you think he is kind of a shift-to-shift player, not like a game-to-game player type of guy?
Nah, Willie's Willie. I don't really care about the noise surrounding him. He's putting up the points, and it's not like anybody else in the team has been excellent either. I think this is a team game, obviously. Do they want more from Nylander? Probably. Having said that, if you were to rank him in terms of their top players, he could be the top player right now, and it's been a so-so start. Like we just talked about the numbers right there. So I don't really subscribe to that. I think as the season goes on, he's going to get stronger and stronger. It's funny to say, but a lot of teams pace themselves. I think the Panthers are a prime example. The Tampa Bay Lightning are another prime example. They're starting to cook a bit here. So yeah, he hasn't played his best hockey, that's for sure. But as of late, he started to look more Willie-like, which is huge. And I love the fact that every day Berube comes out and it's like Willie being Willie. I mean, you can count on this guy. And I think as the game's going on, he's going to prove his worth. He's obviously a big piece to this team moving forward.
Yeah, I love when Berube talks about Willie, because Willie's clearly a player that Berube has never coached. I mean, there's a lot of players that he's not like, a player like Matthews, but talk about his St. Louis teams, his Philly teams. He never had a guy with that amount of skill. It's always been two-way guys. So I think Berube would love to play his best players every single situation, but some players, that's just not the way they work. I mean, at some point, could he develop into that? But again, maybe sometimes shift to shift, can there be some discrepancy? But I mean, he's 8th in points, like 3 back from Jack Eichel. So he's getting paid the big bucks to get points, to score goals, set up guys, and he's doing that. Right at the end of the day.
Well, just look at the game, for example, against Calgary, like that back check and the big goal to pick the defenseman's stick and then pass it over to Nyes. Like, he's a big time player, makes big time plays, and I just think with that comes moments where you're like, what's going on with this guy? But I think they're few and far between compared to some other star players on this roster. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, maybe I was going to talk about something else, but since you said that with Matthews, I listened to your pod the other day for the Calgary pregame show, and I like what Rosehill talked about, kind of maybe what makes him tick. Like, what is this guy all about? Captaincy, do you wish he was a bit more of an emotional player, or do you think he kind of plays it the right way, being in such a big market, maybe not being such an outgoing leader? I mean, John Tavares wasn't much of an outgoing leader as well, I would say, but would you like a little bit more emotion from a guy like Auston Matthews?
Honestly, not really. Everybody's different. I think the luxury this Leafs team does have is other star players. John Tavares, Willie Nylander. Morgan Rielly's not a star, but he's been with the organization for a long period of time. So not everybody needs to be the same. And that's the way I chalk it up when it comes to Matthews. Like, there's a lot of examples around the league, man, that just their play does the talking. Mm-hmm. He's just not a very overwhelmingly big personality, but who has he learned from the last decade, right? Like John Tavares. Like it's just, I don't know. You got to be so careful in this market. If there's one thing I've learned about covering the NHL specifically in this market for close to 15 years, I mean, less is more sometimes. And that's why I don't know what people want to hear from anybody. Never mind Auston Matthews, the guy who scored 69 goals in one season. I mean, it's just unprecedented what this guy has done. But I think more so on the ice, I just need a bit more juice. Yeah. And you could say that for so many different players on this roster. You always got to preface by saying it's October, but it's another prime example of a guy who's going to be judged about, from what he does in the spring. I think we're at a point where he's accomplished everything personally, from Hart trophies to Vezina trophies, I wish, to Hart trophies. Like he's done it all. Now it's another story to be able to do it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I remember when Matthews came into the league, it's like, well, Yzerman was 30 years old, Ovechkin this, and it takes guys a long time to win. Well, last time I checked, Matthews is 28 years old and not getting any younger with a couple years left in this current contract. So I feel like it's put up or shut up time. I'll be honest, little stunned at his start, because you would think he'd be galvanated and fired up with losing, one of his best friends in Mitch Marner, and be like, oh, I'm going to show them. But it just shows you how great this guy is. And granted, a couple of those were empty netters, but he's got 5 goals and he's been very, very quiet. At some point in time, you would have to think he's going to erupt. But I'll just add, we talked about this on the show the other day. It's a bit concerning knowing what happened a year ago, and this guy went to Germany. When's the last time?
I was going to bring that up.
It's just wild stuff. So I'm always and I said this on the show, I'm always careful to scrutinize Austin Matthews, because we have no clue what's happening behind the scenes.
For sure.
He is not the same guy we saw score 69 goals. I'll just leave it at that.
No. And I remember when I heard that he's been injured since training camp, I was like, take 2 months off. I know it's a long time, middle of the season.
It was weird.
It was our team's deep enough especially with Marner last year. Nylander, would we be winning the division without if Matthews didn't stay? Probably not. But we've seen it now. If you're worried about playoff seeding, it doesn't matter. Yes, home ice advantage is huge sometimes, even though the Leafs always
not
win
for
a
the
series
Leafs
on the road. Yeah, exactly. So it really doesn't matter. When I heard that, I was like, I know 4 Nations. What about October, November? But even be healthier for the 4 Nations. I was shocked that he didn't just take a few months off. And even now, you said on the pod the other day, his shot definitely looks better. You could tell he had some muffins last year. He's shooting the puck. He's getting 5, 6, 7 shots a game. But just when people say top centers, top players in the league, obviously at McKinnon, you can see what Eichel's doing right now. When I watch their play, I don't see them take a night off. And I'm not saying Matthews is taking nights off sometimes, but I see McKinnon play game 1 the same he's played game 6 against Tampa in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't see a difference.
Yeah, these guys are frothing. They're foaming at the mouth. Even watching McKinnon Frozen Frenzy on Tuesday, it's just a different animal. And I think and I understand the backlash. Well, look at his all-around play. You can make that same conversation for these star players like Eichel and McKinnon. He needs to be better. And I expected a bit of a transition. Maybe if we have the same conversation a month from now and he's still playing this way, I'm going to have some serious questions. But to lose Mitch Marner, the Robin to your Batman, who's been your guy for years, to go into a game and you're playing with Nick Robertson and Bob McMahon, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, you said Marner. Were you always kind of a defender of Marner? Did you understand the criticism? Do you believe it went too far? And obviously, some cases it definitely did go too far. But were you a defender of him? Would you have liked to bring him back, or do you think it's best the move and then the pieces we brought in? Obviously, it's early, but kind of what were your overall expectations or thoughts of Marner over the past few years and now?
I'm still ecstatic that he's no longer a Maple Leaf. He's doing great things in Vegas. Good on him. I think that's a really good market for him. But I just didn't think the Leafs would ever win with that guy on the team.
I didn't either.
Granted, he can go to Vegas and pull the Jack Eichel and win. Good for him. But I just think it was time to end that marriage. And there was just so much noise behind the scenes that people don't even know about, man. That's all I can pretty much say, from his security guard trying to bully our guys on social media. And then next thing you know, the Marner camp comes out with a story how he felt unsafe. It's like, well, how does that make sense? How can you be a hypocrite like that? There's just so much to unpack with the Marner file. Incredible player, don't get me wrong, an all-star, a star player, gets to 100 points last year, so much chem with the big boys. There's so many positives you can grab, but I do feel like it's addition by subtraction. He's just a guy, when it got to the playoffs, it got too big for him. And I was laughing over the weekend. They played Florida, and granted, half the Panthers lineup's out, and it was 3-0 Florida the final, and bagels for Mitch Marner. We've seen that way too many times where it's, I always bring it back to, I think a couple of years back, Marner was hunting for 100 points, and I've never seen somebody go balls to the wall to score an empty netter in game 78 of the season the way I saw. I'm like, why can't we see that in game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs when you're trying to finish off an opponent, you have them on the ropes? And I just think there's select people who are fit enough and able enough to play in this market. Guys like Willie, for sure. Anthony Stolar is another prime example of that. John Tavares is another prime example of that. And there's guys who just can't handle the noise. And And that's why I just thought it was time for the two parties to move on. And granted, it was Marner's decision, but I honestly feel like it was a blessing in disguise for the Maple Leafs. Like now, first time in a decade, they actually have cap space. And granted,
it's unbelievable.
They don't have the assets, but I think this is a long-term play over the next couple of years. I mean, you're working the Matthews clock right now. They got to try to find a way to win with Matthews at the current contract, and we'll see if it can happen. So, maybe I'm in the minority on that front, but I actually I like the fact that he's not here anymore.
Yeah, I do too. I can respect everything he's done. I mean, he's top 5 and I think total Leaf points in season and playoffs, but I don't know. I know people like to harp on Leafs fans or maybe dissecting stats too much, but you can look at the stats, like games 1-4. Yeah, he's gotten points, but 5-7, like donut, right? And people say, oh, you're dissecting it too much. He has more points overall than Willie and Matthews, but it's just 5 and 7. Like those are the most crude. Those are the closeout games, right? When's the last time Leafs have swept anyone, right? That's not going to happen in today's age. So, yeah, I think it's best for both sides. I'm happy for him, but yeah, when you look at, again, games 5-7, he had nothing. And I just think, again, game 1 against Ottawa, he looked phenomenal. And then after that, I swear it just got worse and worse.
Well, I mean, you're right. And I think like Willie's a prime comparison when you look at Nylander and this guy genuinely does not give a rip, right?
Yeah.
Whether he's a -4 in one night, he'll come out the next night, give the same effort, play the same game, and maybe he scores 3 goals. And I think he is just so equipped to play in this market.
Yeah.
Like I laughed all the time when Marner's like, he doesn't read the headlines. Like that's the first thing he does because his dad would call the radio station I worked at. Like guaranteed it was a family group chat every day. I still get fired up about this guy, man. He's not even with the team anymore. But I'll just leave it at this. Like there's guys who are able to handle the noise in this market. Nylander's a prime example. The guy takes the subway. I don't think safety's a prime concern for that guy, but it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think Marner can go to Vegas. There's not many people covering that team. There's not much pressure. They've won a cup recently. Eichel's having an incredible start. Carter Hart's now in there, so they got Hill and Hart in between the pipes. Theodore. I mean, there's so many good players on that roster. He can just go chill there and maybe win it all. Yeah,
who's on pace for 70 goals and 3 assists right now, the Ovechkin season. Yep. But
I love those comments last week from Marner about Dorofeev, one of the best players he's ever played with, some of the best goal scorers he's ever played with. I'm like, dude, this guy is a joke.
Can't get. I like what he said when he's like, I don't read into all this, but then he says stuff like that. He talks about everything. It's just, he reads.
They all know. I can tell you. I have relationships with people who play on the team, have played on the team. They all know what the hell's going on. Okay. So the moment he said that, you knew he was paying attention. I'll just say that.
100%. I kind of want to shift to the team's decor. Definitely a lot of change and improvement, I would say, over the past, definitely during the Matthews era and Marner era. Riley, I would say definitely a better start for Morgan Riley. I think last year, definitely a tough start and just tough season in general. I think even though you can kind of criticize Carlo, I do like the pairing of Riley and Carlo. I know when they acquired Carlo, I think that's the perfect player to play with Riley. Sit back, let Mo do what he's been doing for over 10 years with Toronto. He's getting older, but he's engaged. He's going into the play. Yes, there's some defensive mishaps, but the whole team is having these defensive mishaps. But this team was fully healthy, or this defensive core fully healthy. Do you think this is a decor good enough to, let alone win the Stanley Cup, but also go on a run?
I think they're one piece away. I think in a perfect world, Simone Benoit would be my number 7. Like if you're asking about a wish list, obviously you want a top 6 forward, but the next would be a right-handed shooting defenseman to play with OEL in the 3 hole with the 3 pairing. But I think I like them. They're big, they're nasty, they're strong. I like the fact that Riley brings a different element than the other 5 guys on that blue line. I mean, I guess OEL back in the day was in that conversation, but he's morphed into a bit of a different player, a playoff style guy. I love the way he plays, but I honestly think Riley's another prime example of a guy who can handle the heat. There's no doubt he has taken so much heat and flack, especially in the last couple of years, and gone about his business. I think he looks much better this year, but I just think people in this market always need to find a whipping boy. And I guess Riley's they're dead set on Riley being that guy, but I like what he brings to the table. He's such a leader, does so many great things off the ice. The guys adore him. He never says anything bad in the media. Like he just checks so many boxes for me, and he just goes out there and does his thing and works on his craft on a daily basis. Yeah, he'd like to be better. There's no doubt about that, but I think people have to look at Morgan Rielly as an offensive defenseman. He is not paid to actually play defense, okay?
No.
You got to have different players on a roster. He's not an upper echelon defenseman in the league at this point in his career. I get that. But I look at him, is he producing? He is. And that's all I can ask for right now. Do I expect more? Probably. But again, you can make that same conversation for so many guys on this roster right now.
Yeah, like I like this decor. I like the kind of the changes over the past few years. Love the Tanev and McCabe pairing and everything. I think you're right. I think we're one piece away, but I think we're one like fairly large piece away. You're talking about, can you win a Stanley Cup without a number one D-man? I mean, you got to go back to, I mean, you could say like Florida had 3 guys who were borderline ones. And when you have 3 borderline ones, that's basically a more on the one. Their decor is, to me, the best in the league. Yeah, they go back to probably Pittsburgh in their back-to-back. They didn't really have a true number one. Like Dumoulin was one of their top guys. Letang was out. Yeah, but I think he was out for one of them. But like, I mean, I don't think they need to acquire a true number one because I don't know what team would be offering that. But I think I can't really picture a guy out there, but there's someone out there. Obviously, there's the Rasmus Anderson, but it seems like it's almost guaranteed going to Vegas. I've been hearing that for 8 months now. But is there another guy out there that you like that could fit well into this team and make sense?
Off the top of my head, no.
Yeah.
I think San Jose will be a player at some point in time. Like, well, I'm sure we'll hear the Mario Ferraro rumors. Justin Falk really intrigues me. He's not a number one, but he's the type of guy I'd love to have on this team. Obviously, there's the familiarity as well with Chief and St. Louis. I mean, I think you look anywhere to draw comparisons to guys who have played for Craig Berube, I think would be a good place to start. But off the top of my head, maybe Justin Falk is a guy. I mean, to your point about like number one defenseman, I think if the Leafs play like one cohesive unit the way they did for a good chunk of last spring, they'll be in a really good spot. Whether they're getting the goaltending, playing big and nasty and strong the way they did for a good chunk, again, a couple lapses in 5 and 7 there against the Panthers, but they've shown so many times over, say, even the last year where they're fully capable of going toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in hockey. So the blue line is the least of my concerns. Like, I think, in my opinion, they solidified the crease. They solidified the blue line. Would I love another piece? Yes, maybe. Right now, you got to solidify the forwards. Like, I think they've done a good job of finding more depth. The Lawton pickup, I know it hasn't worked out thus far. I'm telling you right now, this guy's a stud. And I think
once he gets healthier, I'm not worried about Lawton at all. I 100% agree. Yeah, not worried at all.
I think once he gets cooking here, he's going to be good. Nick Wa's a guy who's so versatile, played a lot in the top 6 in Vegas when guys got banged up. He's responsible. Joshua coming in. I'm sure they'll add a couple more guys between now and the deadline. Like, I think they're in a good spot, man.
Yeah. I you said Lawton. I am not worried about Lawton at all. Like, I love Lawton's game. He's great in the locker room. I mean, preseason, pretty sure he had 4 goals in one game, like, or maybe a hat trick. He looked awesome. I know preseason, but he's a guy who can go up and down the lineup. And I think there's not a single teammate who's ever said a bad word about him. So I'm happy. I'm hoping he's coming back soon. I'm not sure what the timetable of him is, but I'm hoping have him back. Last few things on the Leafs. Do you think the playoff seeding last year meant a lot more than it did this year? I know it's so early on, but last year, I mean, I really wanted that first seed to get home ice, but we've seen the past. Leafs on home ice doesn't really matter. And you look at Florida, they don't give a shit where they finish. They're going to finish the 8th seed and they're going to march their way to the finals. Do you think if as a team and as a fan base, if you're worrying about playoff seeding, that shouldn't be the thing you're worried about? Get to the playoffs and worry on from there.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the coasting Leafs this year, and that's part of why they've started the way they did. They're in the Florida bubble now with the Panthers and the Lightning, where it's like, I don't care where I finish, and people shouldn't care where they finish. Like, we've seen so many examples where they have the big game on home ice and they shit their pants, right? So I even said this last year. Go find the tape, and I said it multiple times. I'm like, I don't care if they win the division. Great. I thought Ottawa put up a good fight. You're still going to play a quality opponent, whether it's Ottawa or anybody else. So you're going to have your hands full. And I do feel like the Maple Leafs are good enough to beat anybody on any given night, right? So the playoffs is all about proving it. I could not care where they finish in the standings as long as they're in there, right?
Yeah, for sure. And lastly on the Leaf, before we kind of move on here, Rosie brought it up on the podcast, and the Leafs last year, they just had 2 horrible losses in Game 5 and 7 against Florida. And they get a lot of criticism, but when you play like that in big games, you're going to get criticized. And look at the Jays. They have lost massive games, but look at the fight that this team has. Like the fight with the 18th inning, they put in a fight, and you're not going to get scrutinized in an 18th inning game when you played a dynasty type team. But when last year, Toronto, in a game 5 and 7, a chance to really take hold against the defending Stanley Cup champions, you put up the worst hockey I've ever seen in my life, right? Like, it's this Jays team, they don't lose like games like that. So you think in the past, like, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with some of these games. Like, I remember a few years ago when they lost to Boston game 7. They were down 3-1 in that series, battling injuries. They battled all the way back to game 7. Woll's out, who was averaging like 0.8 goals against per game. And that I didn't hate. It's like, hey, you lost in game 7 in overtime, injuries all over it, and you battle back from 3-1. Do you think sometimes they really just, I mean, it's obvious, but like really just shoot themselves in the foot with some of these displays in playoffs?
Yes, the Jays are a perfect comparison. Like, you even lose George Springer, you go out and win a ball game. It's got to be that next man up approach. And it gets to the moment and it's like they just can't push through. And I've seen it so many times with this team in the last decade. It's actually sickening. They just continue to be the laughing stock of losing embarrassing hockey games, whether it's in the playoffs or in the regular season. I was on the call doing the pre-intermission and post-game when they lost to a Zamboni driver. That felt really good to be a Leafs fan. It just, you can make a top 10 list of just embarrassing moments in Maple Leafs franchise history just in the last decade alone. So, it's put up or shut up time. I know I've said that a few times in this interview. Go out and prove it. I hate to say it, jobs are on the line. I think after this season, if they can't push through and at least get to some point in time where they're at least a couple wins away from a Stanley Cup, there's going to be even more soul searching. There's going to be some big conversations to be had, whether it's the GM, the coach, star players. I think everything is out there at this point. Like, it's put up or shut up time, man. It's enough of this crap.
Absolutely. I want to quickly move on now to, I want to talk about a little bit of fantasy hockey. I love fantasy hockey. Yep. I'm in 4 leagues. That's maybe a little bit too much, but I love fantasy hockey. I love the day-to-day aspect of it. Preseason, I made a video of 3 fantasy buys and sells before the season based off their NHL.com ranking. I like to bring them up to you. Maybe you have some responses yourself or say some guys that you had in your own mind. So I'm going to kind of list these guys off. So I'll do 2 sells. I originally had a sell of Lane Hutson. I didn't know he was ranked like 8th by an NHL.com fantasy defenseman. I didn't know how you do with Noah Dobson coming in, but we're seeing it. I think he's 3rd in defenseman scoring, so I'm happy I took him off my fantasy sell list. I think, say what you want about maybe his size and maybe how he'll do down the road in playoffs, but for fantasy hockey, he's a dream defenseman for any type of manager. Another one I had was Brandon Hagel. He was ranked 40th this year going into fantasy hockey on NHL.com. Slow start in Tampa in general. I think he's picked up a bit, but right now he's got 7 points, 10 games, coming off career high, 35 goals, 90 points. I just thought there's no chance he can replicate that. And I don't think he's expected to. A guy who makes $6 million, even if he puts up 60 points for that team the way he plays. I love Brandon Hagel. I thought 35 goals, 90 points, ranked 4th in the NHL. I thought that was pretty high for a player of his caliber.
Yeah, I mean, not to throw Pete Jensen and Chris Meany under the bus, because I have no say in the rankings over at NHL.com. I disagree with a lot of the rankings, but I think that's what makes fantasy hockey fun. In fact, I make my own rankings that I don't even make public, that I do on a yearly basis, just because I have guys I want to draft and some guys I want to stay away from. I think you make fair points. Like Lane Hudson's on one of my keeper league teams, and I think the stats are there, like the points are there, but I think you want to talk about category coverage. It hasn't been there. Like, and sorry, like Yahoo formula and all that. Like, I think he's ranked like 130, 140 right now. So I think it's a pretty damn good sell. Like, anybody who knows me, covered fantasy hockey for a long time, I do subscribe to a sophomore slump, although Macklin Celebrini is saying, screw you. But I think for the most part, like, Michkov is a guy I was worried shitless about. I ended up keeping him on my keeper league team, and God, he's in the doghouse again. It's so tough to forecast, but on Hudson and Montreal in general, I would still be open to selling. Like, they are playing out of their minds right now. I think they're going to come back to reality just a tad. I still think they're a good team, but a lot of these guys are playing over their heads right now. Like, I mean, even Caulfield's got 9 goals. Like, I don't know if this stuff is sustainable. And I think from a fantasy aspect, that's the way you want to manipulate the rest of season, is like, where can I get my best bang for my buck? And I think you can get a lot of value in trading red hot Habs right now. And on Hagel, I agree with you. Like, I view him as like a guy in the 70 to 90 range ranking wise. I mean, we had this polarizing debate this year on Zach Werenski. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm drafting this guy 20th overall. Like, he was ranked 20th in Pete means his rankings. I'm like, I can't get to that level. And look at his start. It's been very up and down, right? So it's just so hard to forecast. I mean, I think lists are subjective and open to interpretation and analysis, and that's what we do. And that's why there's so many lists out there. But that's the way I would view those two files specifically.
Yeah. My last sell before I get into the buy preseason, I sold Artemi Panarin. He was ranked 30th, which I thought was incredibly high. I mean, he's put up 90, I think 120 points 2-3 years ago. I did not think this New York team was good at all. I didn't think that. I kind of expected their offense to kind of dry up like it is. I didn't think they're going to dry up this bad. Like, they're probably the worst offensive team in the league right now. But ranked 30, he had 7 points, 11 games. But that's also, he had one big night in Montreal for 3 to 4 points. So take that night away. It's really, and he's just a one-dimensional player. I thought when he was ranked 30th among all skaters, I'm not saying don't pick this guy up later on because he could catch fire any time. Lafreniere's not playing well. Zibanejad's hot and cold. You lose a power play guy like Kreider. I thought Artemi Panarin was ranked way too high, and it's speaking volumes right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm actually buying on the New York Rangers and Artemi Panarin. I think Mike Sullivan is one of the best coaches in hockey, period. And I do think, much similar to we just discussed the Maple Leafs ad nauseum, like, I think a team that it was going to take a while to find their identity was the New York Rangers. When you bring in a new coach and some new players and some vets, you move out of the lineup and you got some younger type guys, like, there's going to be a transition period. And I think they've done pretty decent job of weathering the storm. I mean, a big reason why is Igor Shesterkin's played unbelievable, notwithstanding the last couple outings, of course, but I think they're in a good spot. I think a reason not to speak for those two, do the rankings over at NHL.com, but contract years. I mean, everybody plays those in fantasy sports in general. Panarin's in a walk year. If he wants a next big fat contract, he's got to have a massive season. He's a guy, consistency has been there year in and year out since coming into the league and winning the Calder Trophy as a 45-year-old. If you recall a couple years back. I'm actually buying on Panarin. I still think he's got some juice left in that tank.
In some of my buys preseason, again, based off their rankings, where even though I think he's up and down this season, I still speak very highly of Elias Pettersson. He was ranked 120th going into this season. Solid start. I mean, 8 points, 11 games. Vancouver's a pretty mid team. If you take away Quinn Hughes, that offense kind of dries up. But we're talking about a guy who was a Selke, not Selke candidate, but top 10 in some people's votes. Incredible shot skill. And I've seen some games. I've stayed up later to watch some games. My brother's a fan of Vancouver. And I think it's there. Get us some skilled winger. I don't know if Kirby or Curtis Reichel is the answer or Lucas Reichel, is the answer for that. But, I mean, look at the teams with Rick Tocchet. He wasn't playing with, like, Brock Besser and JT Miller. He was probably playing with, I can't remember who he was playing, but he wasn't playing with those top snipers. So I think that I still have a ton of upside with Elias Pettersson. Obviously, Quinn Hughes out kind of depletes that. But I'm still very high on him, two-way player. And my other two were Wyatt Johnston. Dallas is surprisingly low in the Central, but again, they're kind of like Florida. Get them to the playoffs, and you don't want to play them. He plays second line. He has 6 goals in 10 games right now. He's ranked like 60th on NHL.com. I think he can be a 40-40 guy this year. I think there's a ton of upside. Yeah. And the final one, another ranked around 120, was Cutter Gauthier. I think my sleeper for I actually have Anaheim making the playoffs this year. I think he is a stud, him and Leo. I don't think they play together. Cutter plays with McTavish and Seneca. Tons of skill, big, strong, fast. I think he can also, it'd be a crazy sophomore season, but I think he also can put 30 plus, almost 40 plus this year as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a tough decision on one of my keeper league teams to cut bait with him. I just couldn't keep him. And, he's having a great start. Joe Quenneville's doing a great job there. And in general, I'm a believer in Anaheim. I think Dostal's very underrated in between the pipes. The blue line's strong, and obviously they got a Hall of Famer, guys won multiple cups, and Joe Quenneville, I think that team's headed in the right direction, and certainly buying on Gauthier. With you on Johnston, he's been a stud since I think his first game in the NHL. Yeah. Continue to buy on that front, and Pettersson's a guy, again, another guy we had a polarizing conversation about on the podcast throughout the summer, and I was the only guy who believed in him, and I think he's outplaying his value right now in terms of ADP, right? Like, I still think there's a world where Pettersson can be a 40 to 60 ranked guy. I don't know if he'll ever get back to top 20. No. But his shot, he's not deferring as much. He looks more into it. Like even watching the game against the Rangers, like he's hitting people. Like he just shows like he actually wants to play hockey, which I think is big for fantasy owners, more so big for the Vancouver Canucks who pay that guy 11 and a half sheets per season. So I think there's going to be moments where as a fantasy owner, you're like, what the hell is going on? But then a prime example the other day where he had 3-point night, right? So I think more times than not, I buy when I see so much talent in front of me and he's still young, right? Like I think he's a guy who has proven he could be an absolute stud. It's just more of a motivation conversation.
Yeah. I don't, it's tough to say he can go back to being, again, like a 100-point sulky guy. But I mean, last year, he had like 57 points. I predict he's going to be a lot better than that. Maybe not a 40-40 this year, but again, like you said, he's still so young. I don't know, contract's tough, but like again, like watching the game, people may say like, oh, they look at his shots per game. But last season, even with his shots low, you could tell that something was off. This year, even maybe he's not getting that shot off, he looks electric. He had a sick dish to Garland against Pittsburgh the other day. He has so much skill. I'm confident he'll, maybe not this year fully back, but I'm confident he'll get back to that superstar type player. Last little thing here, just overall broader NHL. This is like kind of what has just spoke out to you this year, kind of team that came out of nowhere. Obviously, there's Utah. Chicago was playing great. I could have expected maybe Utah's offense, maybe not offense this much, but is there a team that's really, really surprised you? And maybe it's not like a Fugazi, like they really can go all the way and make playoffs and maybe even make a run?
Yeah, I think it has to be Utah. Like when you ask the question, Montreal, obviously, but we saw them take a step and make the playoffs last year, and like that Demidov is disgusting. Nick Suzuki's criminally underrated. If he's not on the Olympic team, I think there's going to be people with pitchforks throughout the country.
I love Nick Suzuki.
So damn good.
Yeah.
And they're getting the goaltending like Jakub Dobish. Like you want to talk about fantasy hockey. He is grabbing that number one job from Samuel Montembeault, who was on the Four Nations team. So go figure. But I think it has to be Utah because I feel for the last 5 years, especially on my podcast, NHL Fantasy on Ice, go and subscribe right now. Pete Jensen has been the biggest backer of that organization, whether it was in Arizona or Utah. But this is actually the year. Like I feel like I've been talking about Andre Tierney potentially winning the Jack Adams. It might happen this year. Dylan Guenther, you want to talk about underrated players in this league. He is right there.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about him. The value in the contract, but nobody talks about that guy. No. He has 13 game-winning goals since the beginning of last year. Contract year, Nick Schmaltz, maybe the next to be done after the Logan Cooley extension handed out. That's a lot of coin, but they got some good pieces, man. They got Sergachev, who's played plenty of games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They got to feel good about Vejmelka in between the pipes. I still think they can upgrade over Vanacek as the backup, but I think Utah is a team that's turning some heads because we've been waiting for this for a while, for these kids to all arrive. Well, they've all arrived at the same time, and it's great to see them spending money too. Like I'm curious to see what they do between now and the trade deadline as well. So Utah's my answer for sure.
Yeah, and so preseason, for all playoffs, I didn't have much change. I had the East staying the exact same. The only change I had in the West was Anaheim leaping St. Louis in the wild card. I liked the matches of all the team, but Utah, I knew they'd come out hot. I liked their offense. My only thing is, I know it's regular season, but come playoff time, I love that top six. But do you think it needs to be a bit grittier? Because I remember in the past with the Leafs, they're like, oh, the Leafs need to get tougher. Oh, who do the Leafs get? They would get a Wayne Simmons. Yeah, you can make your bottom six as tough as you want, but I think you need a little bit more sandpaper in that top six as well, right? Like, Florida, obviously, with Sam Bennett, those guys. You think that's something that Utah can address? And I mean, I like that top six, but also who do you drop down from that top six? And maybe a Barrett Hayton, who's played great with Keller and Schmaltz. You're not bringing down a Cooley or a Guenther or a Peterka, right? So do you think that's something they need to address, or do you think that's something they can kind of hum along? Obviously, I love the addition of Tanev. I love McBain down there. But do you think that's something they can add on to that squad?
Look, to be frank, we're talking regular season success, okay? They could get to the playoffs, but I don't think they're anywhere close to winning a Stanley Cup. I mean, they got humbled a bit by the Oilers the other night, where the Oilers are like, hey, well, we'll supply you this lead, but then we've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. We have that McDavid guy. We're going to beat you now. And I think that was a humbling reminder that Utah has taken another step, but they're not in the upper echelon of the league. So I think over the next couple of years, and assuming this continues where they trend in this direction, I think you make some tinkers and modify the roster, and that's part of the reason why I think they traded Michelli. They had too much of the same on that roster, but they've done a pretty good job from what I understand drafting. So they got a lot of draft picks too. So they'll be active. I mean, you want to talk about dark horse teams for Nazem Kadri? Why not Utah? Like, I think they're going to be a team that we talk about a lot between now and the trade deadline, because I think you have to seize the opportunity the moment you have, an owner that wants to spend up to the cap. Like, let's do it. Let's go after it.
All right. Final thing. Was there a bold take or bold prediction before season that's either looking really good or just not the greatest right now? Again, we're 3 weeks in, but is there anything that you're kind of worried about what you said?
Yeah, so I picked Ottawa to win the Atlantic Division. I think I got screwed as soon as Brady Tkachuk got hurt.
Yeah.
And I think it was more so based on the fact that I don't think anybody else really cares that they win the division. And I think Ottawa's a team that has taken that next step. Look at Shane Pinto's start this year. But you take Brady Tkachuk out of that lineup, they're not the same team.
Yeah.
I assumed that Linus Ullmark would get back to like Vezina Ullmark, but he looks so disinterested and just so shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna take that on the chin. Is the Ottawa Senators. I had them to win the Atlantic. It's not going to happen.
No. Well, Nick, I can't appreciate you enough for coming on. This has been an awesome chat, talking about the Leafs and talking about fantasy and everything like that. We're a smaller podcast, and I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate your work and everything you do. I follow all the time. And good luck with the rest of the season. And hopefully we can chat again down the future, maybe before playoffs, and hopefully it's not a first-round exit or anything like that.
Oh, don't even manifest that. Thank you so much for having me. We'll talk soon, man.
Awesome.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Thank you again, Nick, for that interview. That was awesome. It was great chatting with him.
I can't wait to listen to it.
You can't wait. Yeah, Jackson still doesn't know, but it was awesome. Now we talked about the Bills, but let's kind of get into the rest of the NFL. I mean, there's Monday recap, but I mean, Commanders at Chiefs. It wasn't early
close,
on,
but the Chiefs, like the Mahomes threw 2 picks right away. I was like, oh my god.
Kelsey, best game of the year. I think he had 100 yards and a touchdown. He played great.
I was so happy. He got popped straight in the ribs.
Oh, yeah. He got fucking killed. Washington's defense is fucking horrible. And they need to establish a run game and just
currently they are not doing that on
no. All of it is, and as we're watching right now, I think it's 7-0 Seattle.
7-0 Seattle.
It's just not good for Commanders. It's just
not at all.
It's just their defense is horrible. They're getting older. I mean, let's bring in 40-year-old Von Miller. That's going to really help our defense. And they
clearly help the Bills, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, let's get right into Thursday night. Just a thwomping. Just Ravens at Dolphins.
Huge.
Lamar's back. He's 18 for 23, 4 touchdowns.
To me, he still did not look the same. Like, he looked good. But did not look the same. Their first
his arm
few
looked
drives
great.
Looked
He's
bad.
a little hesitant sometimes. His run game wasn't there.
The whole thing, even before he got hurt, like, he wasn't able to scramble out of the pocket like he used to. And I feel like teams, given the quarterback situation in the NFL and how it's turned into, like, you need to basically have a spy on a quarterback. I mean, depending on who you're playing. But almost every single game you have to have a spy on a quarterback. It changes the defense and it changes the way that you scheme around these quarterbacks. Obviously, you're still going to have guys who break out for runs, but 4 touchdowns is gross. And he just decided to throw the ball to every single tight end ever. He decided to have a throwback game with Mark Andrews.
He forgot National Tight End Day was last week and he didn't play. Like, National Tight End Day is over, buddy. It's over. Get over it.
But yeah. Achane and Waddle are the only bright points.
They need to get traded. They need to be another team. I don't.
Achane they won't get rid of Achane. They'll probably listen to offers for Waddle. I doubt it. They're going to make any moves given the fact that they just fired their GM. If they do make moves, it'll be panic. The game against the Bills, like I believe the deadline. Usually the deadline is November 3rd, which would be tomorrow, but I think it might be later in the week this year. November 4th, so it's Tuesday. So that'll be crazy. Probably give you some live. The trade deadline for the NFL.
It's on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Oh, this is going to be done when it's... I've heard nothing Like, I'm on Twitter all the time. I didn't even know that.
The only decent moves that have had, like John Mechie, he went from Houston to the Eagles. The Eagles had
Alexander to
year.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Alexander.
He's had nothing. He played like horrible all year.
And I know you're all over this guy. You love him. Like, Kyle Hamilton's a mutant. He's
unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He, for real, like, could be up there for defensive player of the year.
He might have like a broken hand. He might have something. I know he hurt his head against the Bills. He's been battling injury, but you can't tell when he's playing. Like, he is an absolute animal.
He's just unbelievable. So, the Ravens were always, in my opinion, the Ravens are always going to get that win. The Dolphins would have had to have just the absolute offensive power. And you know what? Their offense played well. There's just silly mistakes. Like, they go down the field. They drive all the way down the field. They get down there, it's like 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. False start, makes it 4th and 7. You have to kick a field goal. Horrible. You get the ball back, turnover in your own red zone, touchdown for the Ravens. Like, just, it wasn't a complete game. Mike McDaniel will not be there next year. He will make an amazing coordinator. I just don't think a team is going to want him to be their head coach. There's too much with the antics. I mean, you can say what you want. He's just an interesting person. He's got his own personality. He is going to stick to it. I swear to God, if Zach Charbonnet goes off tonight, I will lose my mind.
Who did I told you to? Well,
you told me to start.
Worthy had some big catches.
He had
didn't he?
3 points.
Oh, just kidding. That stinks. That stinks.
But
I don't know if you have anything else on the
no, let's get to these
Sunday.
games.
The Sunday 1 o'clock was probably the craziest 1 o'clock slate I've ever.
Insane. I think every game going into the fourth quarter was within a score or tied.
So Panthers at Packers, probably the biggest spread of the weekend. Panthers win 16-13. Why do the Packers keep doing this? They lose to the Browns. They have a dominant performance against the Steelers. They lose to the Panthers. Bryce Young only had 100 yards. Love 273, but an interception. Tucker Kraft may be done for the year, which sucks. I love Tucker Kraft. He's had such a great season. I think they fear it might be a torn meniscus or something, so we'll see. Enrico Dowdle now, I think they've already said it. He's running back 1 for that team. Like, Chuba Hubbard can have some plays. It's 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. And this Packers team, they might be the best, most inconsistent team in the NFL right now.
They're the best team. You could say they're probably the best team on paper.
Yeah,
paper. They have a great team. And then Jordan Love just.
How do you go from his Steelers game where he was perfect nearly to like in 275? Just they couldn't find and just. I know Tucker Kraft going down is huge. He's like one of the number 1 tight ends right now in the league and touchdowns.
You don't have Jaden Reed, so I don't know. I think it was a lot of overhype when they got Micah Parsons and immediately, they're going to go to the Super, which they like, what, they're 3-4-1 now or 4-3-1, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're 5, sorry. Okay, no, 5-2-1.
I was going to say,
That's on me. That's on me. I'll go hand up on that.
So hands up, don't talk about it.
They seem like they're a lot worse than their record. And the Panthers are over 500, which is crazy. And like, the NFC South is getting
dicey. It's getting dicey.
And
they play the Saints next week.
Yeah, the big divisions.
I know, I know they're both shitty teams. I know Panthers are about 500, but sometimes those, even if they're bad teams, those divisional games, they can be fun to watch just because it's just, they're laying it out there.
Dude, you have the Bucs at 6-2, the Panthers at 5-4, the Falcons are 3-5, which the Falcons are better than their record.
They are.
But the Falcons are getting fucked by their point differential. Same with the Panthers. The Panthers' point differential is 174 to 205 against, and they're 5-4.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts.
That's insane.
So moving on here, we like the craziest game of the weekend so far. Bears-Bengals. Bears win 47-42. The Bears led 47-27 with 2 minutes left. Uncle Joe scored. Onside kick, scored again, and then Caleb had 50 seconds left, no timeouts. Just drove down the field.
Fundamental defense, dude.
And then they threw the ball to Loveland at the field goal line, which they can get in, and then just missed tackling, and then 50-yard touchdown for Loveland. And Colson Loveland coming out party, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's in here in the Tyler Warren stuff, which Tyler Warren's still a fucking mutant, but. It's not like Colson was a bad pick, and now he's shown it. He's been great the last. He's getting better and better each game.
It's a really big loss for the Bengals. Because the Bengals, they win that.
That's huge loss.
They go to 4-5. They're above the Ravens, and the Steelers are 5-3. I mean, that win against the Colts, which we'll get to, is huge for them. But like the NFC North or the AFC North can change week to week, and like if the Ravens can rattle off some wins, it'll be huge. Like they play the Vikings next week.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and also,
go ahead.
The NFC North is being crazy. Now the Bears are 5-3. What do you say the Packers were 5-3-1?
5-2-1.
5-2-1. The Vikings are now what? 4-4?
4-4. That's the tightest division in football.
The division's insane. Now the Bears are 5-3.
Yeah, the Packers are at the head of it because they beat the Lions. The Lions are 5-3. The Bears are 5-3. The Vikings are 4-4. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's insane.
Caleb, I mean, his percentage wasn't the best, but I mean, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. His rushing game was awesome. He also had 20 receiving yards.
1,000 yards of total offense in this game.
Yeah. Uncle Joe, he had a career high 470 yards, 4 touchdowns. They got both teams they're the exact same team basically. They just need to have some defensive sound, just players, and and you know what? 2 horrendous defenses on full display.
Yeah, touchdown. God damn.
Charbonnet?
Horton has 2 touchdowns. Seattle.
And just, dude, Caleb, hey, I think he had a good game. I think you can classify it as a good game. Just sometimes, and I love looking at Mikey V tweet because he's tweeting like basically every play after the Bears, and it's just sometimes it looks uncomfortable. Sometimes he scrambles when he doesn't need to scramble. It's like, yes, has his O-line been awesome? I know they tried to establish that in the offseason by getting Joe Thuney, and I'm trying to think of the other guys they signed and everything, but sometimes I'm like, it's 2 seconds or not even a half a second, then he scrambles. It's like, I don't think you need to be scrambling there.
It's just,
he has some great on the run throwing skills, great power and everything. And 280 yards without Odunze. I don't think Odunze caught a ball. So I mean,
Odunze had 3 targets with 0 catches. Fucked me in my one league.
But yeah, I mean, huge. The Bears are 5-3, and the fucking Panthers are above 500. So.
The league is in disarray. This is the first year in a long time you can be like, I don't know who the fuck is going to be.
It's week to week. I think we say it's a week to week league, which is it's more fun that way.
Everyone's gonna have the Bills #1 on their goddamn list after beating the Chiefs this week. So I mean, as they should be.
All right, Broncos and Texans. Broncos with 18-15. It was always the under for this game. It was always the under for this game. Bo Nick's not his best. His percentage was horrible.
Some of the worst. Offensive play.
Yeah.
It's just overall.
Bo Nix was horrible.
Like, these defenses,
yeah.
The Broncos defense looks like the 1985 Bears, man.
Yeah, they look crazy.
It's in there.
Nick Bonito's awesome, and obviously Surtain is out, but Nick Bonito is a defensive player of the year Canada as we speak.
They got
Surtain's
too.
Awesome.
Hufanga is insane.
Yeah. And C.J. Stroud was looking good before he left with concussion. Kind of a dirty hit. He slid, and I don't know who the defender was, still hit him in the head, and he left with concussion. David Mills almost got him into it. But I mean, you put your backup quarterback against
Davis Mills,
like you said, the 85 Bears. Like it's just not going to happen.
No.
How much was I'll say about the game? But yeah, Colts Steelers. This is an interesting one. You said the Steelers here. Steelers win 27-20. Daniel Jones this is their worst offensive game. Jones had 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, I don't even know, had 50 yards. His worst game of the year. Jaylen Warren, 2 touchdowns for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're playing a good defense who coming off of a bad week. Like, they look really good. Daniel Jones just turned the ball over too many times. They had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
But you put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands 5 times, like with unforced errors, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Next one, Chargers at Titans. Bit of a scare for the Chargers. They still win 27-20. And I mean, we boost this guy's tires every game with Joel. Like you saw when he was in the game, how their offense was running, and then when he left again, how it runs. Like he is just a mutant on that left side. Yeah, and like Herbert just knows if he moves to the left side of that pocket, he's not getting touched.
No,
and it's just when he goes down.
The Chargers, I just don't know how to evaluate them. I don't either. I want to say they're good, but then they have games like this where they were down early. I think they were down 14-7 at one point.
Yeah,
I want.
And a young Titan secondary actually looked pretty good too. They had some red zone stops, but I wrote down Cam Ward's booty cheeks. He stinks. He had some throws that were wide open, and he just looks so uncomfortable throwing them. Yeah, it's just I don't get it.
I think you'll see him continue to progress, But this organization hasn't been good since they got rid of Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Like, they just continue
and Mike Vrabel.
They continue to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mike Vrabel, Falcons, Patriots win 24-23. I was begging for a Falcons dub here, but Penix 3 touchdowns. London was a monster today, 3 touchdowns. May was solid. I don't think it was his crazy self. He threw an interception. You've seen him start to make a little bit of mistakes, but still a solid game. And I think Penix kind of blew that game at the end. He threw
Washington. Jesus. On the kickoff after a touchdown, forced fumble, and the Seahawks get the ball back with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It is going to be 21-0. Sam Darnold is Mike McDonald as a head coach is unbelievable.
He's not getting talked about enough as kind of coach of the year candidate.
He left really the Ravens, and that ball is out. Holy.
That ball was
Washington
never
is in
secure.
disarray.
That ball was never going to stay.
No.
They are in disarray.
He literally touched it with one finger.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Not much more to say about Falcons Patriots. I don't know if you have more. Penix kind of lost in that game. He spiked the ball. I think it was a legal spike, and they just kept losing yards. At one point, they were like 4th and 20, and they were never going to win that game.
But they're not. So
all right, 49ers Giants. I didn't watch much of this game, but I mean, CMC back to being him after 1 week off.
Unbelievable.
Basically, 100 rushing yards and a touchdown, 60 receiving yards and a touchdown. Mac Jones at one point I think was 14 for 14.
Yeah,
I think you've said this every time about Mac Jones. This is 1 week he'll literally just be incredibly efficient or just.
It's what's been the Mac touchdown. Holy fuck.
Yep. Yep. You're right.
Sam Darnold's choosing to throw to everyone but Jackson Smith the Jigba today.
And that's usually I'm playing JSN. Dart needs help too because he made some plays and some throws to receivers that were just massive drops. Like I think I honestly I can't wait to see this Giants team in the future with Neighbors. If they maybe drop another receiver, Scatabo, they're gonna be really good because their defense is getting better.
Push for a wide receiver at the deadline. It'll be interesting. Like I could even see because OBJ got a 6-game suspension. I could even see them trying to bring him in. You'll see a team push for someone. Yeah, it'd be crazy for him to have a reunion in New York. I don't think he ever really wanted to leave New York, so. But they'll probably push for a receiver at the deadline, and I like the Giants. I do. Like if you look at
young D-line, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Kayvon Thibodeau, like they're just getting younger and better. Like I like this Giants team in the future.
I mean, they're 2-7, but like,
but they're playing better than that. Like they almost beat the Broncos. They beat the Eagles. They're just injury riddled against a solid 49ers team who also is injury riddled. Like, I don't know. Who do they play next week? I don't think they play the Bears. Like they can definitely win that game. Like they can definitely win that game.
Yeah.
I definitely like the over for that game though. I definitely like the over for whatever it is. 47? Yeah, that's an over game.
The fucking NFC West is ridiculous too. You got the Rams at 6-2. The Seahawks look like they're going to cruise to 6-2. And the Niners are 6-3.
Jesus Christ.
And then the Cardinals are 2-5. So
all right. Vikings Lions. Jack was not happy. Vikings win 27-24.
I'll go hand
McCarthy was not good. I'll let you have this one here.
Yeah. I need to apologize to Ryan's brother. He took some of the comments I said about Jared Goff.
He has a name, by the way.
Sorry, Jack. I'm sorry. No, it's like I was trying to think of what to say back to him, and like Goff still played really well today, but you can see when the run game and what his comment was that they run the ball 30 times a game. So Goff, it wasn't necessarily that Goff really needs to sling it, but like if they don't have Gibbs and Montgomery going, it becomes increasingly hard for them, in my opinion. Goff is a great quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just said he was overrated. I ruffled some feathers. I don't want to be hated in the Ellis household. I don't even really think I probably met your brother other than maybe in high school when I was like a little guy. So, I'm sorry, Jack. That's my bad.
That's a tough loss for the Lions, though. Actually, like no run game. Gibbs
divisional loss.
That's a tough one. Like that's the one that you should have won. I mean, they're almost 8-point favorites. I think they're 7.5-point favorites. Like that's a game. McCarthy didn't even play good. McCarthy didn't even play good. Like he didn't even play good. And like,
no, that one-handed catch from Jefferson was insane.
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah, man, I'm
sorry,
this is Santet Rams. As always, the Rams. Caitlin's pick,
Rams.
dub, 34-10. I mean, I think it's hard to say that Stafford's not like top 3 in MVP right now. I know
Close.
I know
It's close. It's Mahomes still.
You think Mahomes, May, and
maybe not May anymore.
Yeah,
it's like probably Mahomes. I mean, I was saying JT before this week. Like I would say Mahomes, Allen, and May maybe. Like I don't know. It's tough. Like especially early in the year, but for a running back to win that, they have to just be good every game. And
yeah, exactly.
For Jonathan Taylor to have an off game against the Steelers, which is a great defense, but it's not going to help your case. So
no, 100%.
Even with the loss, Mahomes still.
Yeah. Also, so Stafford 4 touchdowns. Like I said, Adams is having just a sneaky year. He's not really putting up like 100 yards. He had 2 touchdowns this game. I think he's first, and ESPN says he has 6 touchdowns. So I don't know if that counts today's game. So he might have 8 touchdowns leading the league right now.
He currently has. Oh, why does it just give me for this game? Yeah, he's got 8.
Yeah, so that's leading the league right now. So he's first in the league. Like he's just like Puka will get those big bombs, like those kind of 50-yard rushes and everything, but Devontae is just such a red zone threat. Like he is just one of the best route runners in the NFL, and he's gonna dice up your corner.
Yeah,
and he's insane.
Playing unbelievable, actually.
Yeah, I have him in fantasy. Also Puka's back, 90 yards, touchdown. No surprise there. It was always the Rams against the Saints. I don't know if you have anything else to say on that game. I didn't really watch much of it.
I'm looking at his stats right now. So 491 yards, 8
touchdowns.
Longest receptions, 44.
I don't think he has a crazy amount of yards. Like he's not even like top 20 in yards.
491 over 9 weeks is not the best.
Like JSN's first at 819. He's just a red zone threat. Yeah. Like you're not gonna stop him.
Yeah.
Jags Raiders,
crazy game.
Actually a great game. Jags went 30-29 in OT after the Raiders wanted to go for 2 to win it, which I love the balls on that, but they didn't get it. Bowers is back. 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. He put me 45 points in fantasy. Geno Smith 4 touchdowns. I mean, probably his best game of the year. Still had an interception, but still Vegas finds ways to lose.
Yeah.
And Etienne was better. 80 yards after being a ghost for. After being a ghost for, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, basically till since week 2. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Jags win, and now Kansas City's down a bit more in the standings, but
they're in the hunt.
They're in the hunt, baby.
Ninth place.
And that's all we got. Obviously, Seahawks Commanders. I mean, you chose the Seahawks. It's 21-0 right now. I don't see it getting much better. Cardinals Cowboys. I'm interested. I'm not. Is Kyler still out?
No, I think he's playing.
He's playing. Both are lock of the weeks where Cowboys covering the spread.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Well, I had Cowboys covering the spread, and then I also took Bills covering the spread as well. But my one is just Cowboys covering the spread, which is
I mean, I would say great weekend of football. I know obviously we're biased because the Bills win, but either way, that was going to end up being a good game. Last few weeks of football, I feel like actually haven't been that good. There hasn't really been too many crazy games. Obviously, I know the Jets-Bengals game last weekend was pretty insane, but other than that, there wasn't that many good games last weekend. This weekend, a lot better. I know I see you highlighting them right now, but you ready for just to quickly rattle off some Week 10 picks?
Of course I am. I'm sorry.
I don't know why we're getting punished for this Monday night game. Or sorry, Thursday night game.
Yeah, the Thursday night game's tomorrow. This is what it always is. You get into the middle of the season, and they're like, you know what? We'll throw absolutely stink fest at them for Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night, Raiders at Broncos. Again, these are early lines for next week, but we got to say them now. Raiders, Broncos. Broncos are 10.5-point favorites. It's the Broncos.
It's always the Broncos.
Definitely like the under for this game, though. Like Denver's offense hasn't looked its best. I know Raiders' defense is poo, but I don't know. I don't think Raiders are going to score much against them, and I don't think Broncos are really going to run up the score either.
No.
All right.
Gino's gonna throw fucking 3 interceptions.
Nah, yeah. All right. Falcons, Colts. You have the Falcons in Berlin. Colts are 7-point favorites. Why do you
Falcons
got the Falcons?
Are due for a win, man. Yeah. I'm high on the Colts. I like the Colts. I just think this is a midseason slide. You're going to see them lose 2-3 games. It's not going to be the end of the world for them. But the Falcons need a bounce back win. I think they get it in Berlin.
Love it. Bills at Dolphins. Bills are right now 8.5-point favorites. I can actually see that rising with the win over the Chiefs. This is Tay's pick. Taylor is just absolutely on a tear. Just knows ball, 4-0.
That's what I said to her coming up the elevator. I go, "You're confirmed ball knower." And then
she's like, "Yeah, no shit."
Obviously. She knows ball. So riding the Bills again this week. She said it was always the Bills over the Chiefs. It was never the Chiefs, obviously. And her reasoning was, and this is where the good parallel, because Caitlin likes to give, fun reasoning. And this is why I think Taylor's confirmed ball knower. She just goes straight to ball. Dolphins suck ass. And she said to me, to be honest, if the Bills lose to the Dolphins, it's embarrassing. So
was that a shot at Caitlin, by the way?
No,
it seemed like a shot.
It was not a shot.
It sounded like a shot. It sounded like a shot.
Tay's 4-0, confirmed nose ball.
That's true.
Took the Jets over the Bengals only because fuck Cody Ford.
That was crazy. But yeah, that's a game where I need to see belt ass that game.
Yeah,
next, Brown Jets.
Oh, we missed Ravens Vikings.
Oh, sorry, Ravens Vikings. Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. 46.5 over under in Minnesota.
It's gonna be a close game.
It'll be close.
I think it'll be a close game. I think Lamar gets a win. I think final score you're gonna have like 28-21.
I still like the Ravens covering the spread of 3.5.
Yeah, so do I.
All right, Browns Jets, just a dumpster game. I know Jets coming off a big win. They're a 1.5 favorite. Browns just do have nothing defense or offensively, but they also Myles Garrett may get 6 sacks.
Garrett may just play quarterback. He might just go out there and be like, "Fuck Dylan Gabriel, give me the ball."
Yeah. I have the Jets too. Actually, I think it's a big win, but we'll see. All right, Jags Texans. Texans are 3-point favorites. No, I can't see C.J. Stroud playing because he went out with a concussion. I think with C.J. Stroud, I do have the Texans. I think C.J. Stroud has been playing great football in the last few weeks. Yeah, but Jaguars big win. I like
the way that Trevor Lawrence is playing right now. So
he's running the ball. Dude. He's running the ball.
Did you see?
It's 28-0.
Oh my God! Is this a touchdown?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, that sucks because now they're just gonna run with Charbonnet down the clock.
Dude, that is 4 touchdowns in the first half for Sam Darnold.
All right, so the fact that Minnesota let him and Daniel Jones go is kind of hysterical.
It's insane.
All right, yeah. Giants, Bears. Bears are 3-point favorites in Chicago. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Jackson Dart, I think, is playing great. I think he has very little help with both Scatterbo and Neighbors down. Bears are they're putting up points. Like their offense isn't really much an issue. I know Caleb has looked iffy, but they're putting up points. Defense. It's just their defense is horrible. I think it's going to be. I definitely like the over for this game. Definitely. I think we said it earlier. 47 right now.
It's either going to be one of those games that's like 35-33 or 35-32, or it'll be a game that's like 16-10.
13? Yeah. I like the Bears here too in Chicago. Now this is a game where if the Bears win 6-3, like that's especially really especially we're in NFC North where it's kind of up in the air, it's kind of week by week.
Huge. That win was huge, like a season-changing win.
100%. Pats Bucks. This is Pucks minus 2.5-point favorites.
Just put
I'm
not
sure where the health are. Yeah, I don't want to see the Pats win 7 games in a row. I don't want to see that.
No, their schedule too, even after like this, is not hard. Like they play the Jets after.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's horrible. So they play the Bucks, then the Jets, then they got a bye, I believe. Then they play the Bengals. Oh no, they don't have a bye. They play the Bengals, the Giants, then they play the Bills again, then the Ravens and the Jets. God damn, why do they have an easy schedule like that?
You know what my lock of the week is though? Bucks minus 2.5.
I like that.
I'm confident Baker in Tampa Bay. I think hey, even though he's on Patriots, Drake May's looked awesome. He's made some great plays. Last few weeks, maybe we've seen more of his mistakes. Still playing great football. I think the Tampa defense will get to him. I think it will be a lot more defensive sound game for Tampa. I think they can get to him. I got Bucks minus 2.5 in Tampa Bay. I think, and also Baker's last 2 weeks have not looked great. So I think he's going to be slinging. He was my guaranteed MVP pick like after like week 6, 7. Now I didn't mean to do that, but after week 6, 7, yeah, I like Bucks minus 2.5 there. That's my lock of the week there.
I wonder what the MVP odds are at right now.
I still think Josh is top 3.
Josh is first.
Is he? Yeah, I think
plus
it's just
150.
Yeah. Okay.
Then and Mahomes, then Stafford.
Yeah.
Darnold's gonna move up.
Next up, divisional game. Yeah, he will. Next game. What's Stafford at? What's Stafford at? He must be
plus
up
500. He's 4th.
Yeah, I mean he's got.
Him and Mahomes are tied, and then Darnold's plus 1,600. I might throw some money on Darnold.
That's not some bad value. That's not bad. That's one of our favorite creators, Bobby Burger. He on the recent Billion Dub, so he said he tossed some money on Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I would.
So, Saints Panthers. It's gonna be the Panthers. I like the Panthers at home. Besides their one loss against the Bills, they've been great at home. 3.5-point favorites. Divisional game. It'll be a good game against the Saints. Tyler Shook didn't look great first full game though. But yeah, I got the Panthers coming off of beating Green Bay.
150 yards rushing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So now I'll get to Caitlin's pick. The Battle of the Birds, she liked to call it. Cardinals at Seahawks. I mean, we're seeing what the Seahawks are doing right now. Right now, Seahawks are 6.5-point favorites. I mean, if they end up winning 45-0, this likely will change. But Caitlin's got the Seahawks. She's coming off a 2-win win streak. She had a tough skid, but now she's 2-2. She's going against, I guess, the GOAT in Taylor in the wild card women.
But ball nowhere.
Ball nowhere. Battle of the Birds. She said Seahawks grab fish with their talons and are massive. Cardinals are little tweety birds, little bitch birds. There's really no match between these two birds when you look at Google images. So Google image both those birds. There's no match.
You'll see why Caitlin chose the Seahawks.
Last 2 games here, Lions at Commanders. I mean, this spread's going to...
Jack will be big smile on Sunday.
Yeah, that spread's going to change. That spread is going to change at 3.5.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it's in Washington, but as you see, Washington doesn't mean dick. Next game, Rams at 49ers. Rams are 3-point favorites. I like the Rams. I know they had a tough divisional loss to them a few weeks ago.
Next week's a week where Mac Jones throws 2 interceptions.
Yes, I think the Rams, they had a tough loss to San Fran a few weeks ago. I think they're healthy. Puka's back. We may see CMC as have a historical game, but I still have the Rams in this one too.
Yeah, me too.
And then Sunday night, Steelers at Chargers. Chargers are 4.5-point favorites. I think that's going to change too with the Joel injury and this loss, and the Steelers dub. I have the Steelers too, but you have the Steelers as well. And then Monday night, a great game. I mean, it has potential to be a great game. I know Packers just lost to the fucking Panthers, but Eagles at Panthers, Eagles at Packers, sorry.
Up on the Eagles.
Packers are 3-point favorites. It's a great Monday night game after a few Monday nights games have been pretty shit.
I like the over in this game.
I like the over too. All right. Fantasy update. I'm 5-3.
I'm gonna be 3-6.
I'm gonna be 6-3. I'm actually gonna change that right now because I'm up by. I am up by 60 on Zach, and he has GSN, and I still have Pickens, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, I got Ryan. Fuck me.
What did I do?
You told me to start Worthy over Charbonnet.
Hey, maybe you should ask your fiance who's the ball knower. She probably would give you the right answer.
If I asked her if I should start Worthy over Charbonnet, she wouldn't know what I was talking
about. All right. I put in the Heisman rankings here in NFL draft rankings. This is a great weekend of college football. It was a lot of fun watching it.
It was really
Texas might be back. Arch is back. And I think we said it briefly yesterday or last pod. This is not the draft to have the first overall pick.
No.
This is not the draft. Arch is probably going to stay at Texas. I don't think he declares. I think he's getting better every game. I think he had a great game against Vanderbilt last week or over the weekend here. But I know I love Mendoza on Indiana. What's the guy on Alabama? What's his name again? I'm drawing a blank.
Simpson.
Ty Simpson. I don't know, but I know Laura Sellers was the guy they named in the top picks a few months ago, but
he's really good. He reminds me of Lamar.
this is not the draft to have the first overall pick.
Lenore is an unbelievable athlete. And
great name, too.
Real quick, Carson Beck stinks.
He does stink. Miami is back to being shit and just blowing big games.
They're going.
Awesome.
The college football ranking is going to drastically change this week. Miami lost to SMU, which is ridiculous. Vanderbilt is now, I believe, going to be out of. Yep, they're out of the top 10. They're in the top 15. They're 15th.
Where's Texas? Because they're 20th.
Moving up to 13th.
That's big. That's
so
huge.
You got Ohio, Indiana, Texas A&M, Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, BYU just having a sneaky great season.
They are. So is Utah State too. Yeah. Utah State's been good.
Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Florida's 8th. Miami's 18th. So yeah, it's just and Julian Sand is playing unbelievable.
He is. All right, for the commandments. So our medium risk was I'm so pissed. I bet the medium risk, and the cash out was literally like $2 less than the final, but I just didn't do it, and then Mahomes just never threw a touchdown, so I lost it. But that's tough. But low risk did hit. Herbert had 2 touchdowns, Josh Allen over 1 touchdown, and Drake May over in passing. So low risk, cash it. That's an easy dub. But let's get into this week's 10 commandments. Jackson, want us to rifle those off here?
Yeah, I got it. So for low risk, 3 picks, you're going Goff, 1+ passing TD against the Commanders. Jack, that's a show of good faith. Cook over against the Dolphins and JSN over against the Cardinals. If you want to go up to the medium risk, add 2 more onto that. You're taking Dart over and passing against the Bears and Baker over 1.5 TDs against the Pats. You want to add the full high risk. That's an extra 5 on top of the 5 you already got. Taking CMC over in receptions against the Rams, Stafford 2+ passing TDs, the under in the Jags, Texans, Bills spread, and Lions spread.
Boom.
Yeah, that's our commandments for this week.
Yeah, and so we're on a 2-week win streak of just getting a win. Last week was a medium risk hit. This week our low risk hit. I definitely like our low risk here. And Owen actually came up to me. He was confused by this. So again, low risk, it's the 3 picks. That's the low risk parlay. Medium risk, it's not just those 2 picks. It's those 2 picks added on to the low risk, and then same thing with the high risk. That 5 added on to all of them. So we're on a 2-week win streak right now. We're making some money here. Lock of the week. We still don't know because Cowboys have their play to Monday night. But my next week lock of the week, I do have, like I said, Bucks minus 2.5 for next week at week 10. And my bet the farm. So we're both 0-9. No shocker there.
That's huge.
But my bet the farm, we got a little Wednesday night hockey betting action.
First hockey one.
Yeah. So I got Leafs money line, Poppy point, Capitals money line, Protus point, Columbus money line, Werenski point, Chicago money line, Bedard point, and Sharks money line, Celebrini point. Yes, sir. Gotta get those hockey picks in there.
Like that. All right. I got my lock of the week is the Bears covering the spread. At 3.5 over the Giants.
Yeah.
I like their offense right now. And then, you know what? I'm going to do my bet the farm just for fun.
Love fun.
I'm going to do straight money lines. And I know I said I like the Falcons over the Colts, but I'm taking the Colts money line, Ravens money line, Bills money line, Jets money line, Jags money line, Bucks money line, Panthers money line, Bears money line, Rams money line, Chargers money line. Perfect. $5 to win 547.
There you go. Yeah, man, this is a great pod. It's gonna be a long pod because it's hour 15 right now, and we have like a 45-minute with Nick. But
Perfect.
I think it's a great pod. A lot of good shit talking about it. Big Bills dub. Sucks for the Jays, but it's still a hell of a run. It was great for the city.
Let me
it was
tell
still
you,
a lot of fun to watch.
The amount of baseball fans they made. Trust me, I will probably be watching baseball next year, which is not good.
I'm going to watch opening weekend. I'm going to watch some games.
Yeah,
trust me, the game 70, game 75 is going to be a bit tough, but just come October, dude, the crowd.
But even
insane.
just to go to the games, like to go to a regular season baseball game is
awesome,
unbelievable. So.
This is a great episode. Again, I'll be boots on the ground against Boston. I'll be put some stories of me and my brother just spending $30 on one can of beer.
I will be boots on the ground in Hamilton.
Yes, sir.
And we will have an interview coming up too with, I believe, Tyrell Richards of the Montreal Alouettes as well.
Nice.
We're going to do it probably after the season. But yeah, go Ticats. Obviously, he played for the Alouettes, so that's a little tough. We'll get into that in the interview probably, but
yeah. So yeah, again, go to our Movember page. Please donate anything. I know that in Movember they have donate 50, 100, 150. Donate whatever you can. I understand. Trust me, I'm living in my parents' basement. Do you think I have a fucking lot of money to donate? Just how it works. Fuck. But yeah, please check our link, check our website. Anything helps. I know a lot of people want to see us dress up as clowns and do some running, but it's good for everyone. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for it.
I'm not going to be a clown. I'm going to be a fucking stud, dude. I'm dressing all Bills. Are you joking?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so go check that page out. Go check out Buds and Pucks on X, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. I just released another video. Last week, I did the Atlantic Division Draft What Ifs, which did very well. I did the Metropolitan Division What Ifs that came out on Monday, so go check that out. And yeah, just go check out the Buds Mafia YouTube page, comment, subscribe, Spotify, all that good shit where you get your podcast. Right. Bills Dub Jackson.
Be good.
Fucking rights.
Do good.
Go Ticats.
Go Bills. Go Ticats.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!